Hi, my name's Chris, and today I want to talk about using shared actions in Adobe Captivate 2017. Shared actions are useful if you have multiple slides or multiple buttons that all do the same thing. In this case, I have two slides with buttons on them that are labeled off, and these buttons do the exact same thing. But because they're on different slides, and they use different variables, I've built two actions for them. The action on this first button is called example. I'll show you what it is. It's a conditional tab or a conditional action. If the variable example is equal to 0, we're going to change the value of the variable to 1, and we're going to change the state of the button and the image. If it's equal to 1, we're going to change it to 0, and then we're going to change the state of the button and the image. On the second slide, the name of the action is toggle, and it does the exact same thing, except it's a different image, it's a different button, and it's a different variable. Two actions doing the same thing, one for each button. A shared action will let you make one action and apply it to both buttons, which can really decrease the complexity of your project, and it can save you a lot of time. Now obviously this project is very simple, but I want to show you how to do it anyway. It's a good example for using a shared action for a toggle. So I have this action open. This is toggle. This is the one on the button on the second slide, and I'm going to click Save as Shared Action. And what you're going to see is this comes up, and I'm going to name this one Toggle Shared. And then I've got some stuff down here. I've got these gray boxes where I have the option. I can check this, and then that lets me change this value. This is the variable toggle controller, so I'm going to check this because I'm using multiple variables. And then in these white boxes, you just type in a description of what each of these blanks is. So this is the variable. I'm going to come down here to this crab with shells. This is the image. This is the state. It says on of crab with shells. So this is the on state of that image. I'm just going to type on. This is the button, on off button. I'm just going to call this one button. And this is the on state of that button, on of on off. So I'm going to type on. And then down here, this is the normal of the image and the normal of the button. And I'm just going to type normal for both of them. And then we're going to save this. And I could apply it to the button on the second slide first. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and I like to start with the first slide. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click off, or click the off button. I'm going to come over to on success, and I'm going to change this from execute advanced action to execute shared action. I've only got one shared action, so that's the one that's going to pop up. And then I'm going to click this little P in the bracket signs here. This is your parameters. Remember before you filled that out. So now you're going to pick your values. Variable. The variable on this first slide is example. If you double click there, you can type in and shorten your list. So I'm going to click example, and then my image on this one is crab off. The state I want on. Remember, I named this stuff as obvious as possible. The button, on off button, page 1. State on, normal, normal. And I'm going to click save. Now I'm going to go to the second slide. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click that off button, execute shared action. I'm going to click my parameters button there. This variable is toggle control. The image is crab with shells. On. Button is on, off, on. Again, if you name these, make these names really obvious, then this is really easy. Click Save, and let's preview it. HTML5 in browser. I'm going to check both slides. And this one works. Next one. And that also works. So that's how you can use a simple shared action to replace a toggle on multiple buttons with multiple variables and multiple images. You can imagine how much time this will save you on a big project where you have multiple toggle buttons, a lot of different images, a lot of different things controlled by toggle buttons. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, happy captivating.